Hello everyone, we are going to see about table constraints. Table constraints in MySQL are rules and conditions that you can apply to columns in the table to enforce data integrity and maintain consistency in the database. These constraints help ensure that the data stored in the table meets certain criteria and adheres to predefined rules. Below are some common table constraints in MySQL along with explanation. First, we are going to see about primary constraint. Primary key constraint. The primary key constraint uniquely identifies each record in the table. It ensures that the value in a specified column are unique and not null. Now I am going to show you the example. First thing is primary key constraint. For that I am going to use the create table employees. Inside that I am going to give an ID and it should be integer and primary key and name as varchar 100 and the age as integer. Like this, we want to give a primary constraint to an ID and it should be unique and it should not be null. Next, we are going to see about unique constraint. The unique constraint ensures that the value in the specified columns are unique. Unlike the primary constraint, it allows null values. Now I am going to show you the example. For that, we want to give create table and table name as department and here I am going to give a department ID as int and it should be unique. IDs all should be unique so that we are giving unique and name as varchar of 100. Like this we want to use unique constraint in ID. Next, we are going to see about not null constraint. The not null constraint ensures that the column cannot contain null values. It requires every row to have a value for the specified column. For that, now I am going to show you the example how to keep a not null. For that, I am going to create table customers here customer ID should be integer and primary key. Next, name varchar 100 and here we want to give it should not be null. Next, email, it is also varchar 100 and it should be a not null and it should be unique. Email should be unique. Like this we want to use not null in our table. Next, we are going to see about default constraint. The default constraint provides a default value for a column when no value is explicitly specified during an insert operation. Now I am going to show you the code how to give a default constraint. For that I am going to create an order table, orders table, and inside that I am going to give an order ID of integer, and it should be a primary key. Next, order date, and type as date, and it should be default, and it should be current date. You should give a current. Like this we want to give. Create table orders, and we want to give an order id as int, and primary key, and order date. The data type is date, and we want to give a default, and current date. Next we are going to see about check constraint. The check constraint specifies a condition that must be met for the values in a column. It allows you to define custom rules for data validation. Now I will show you how to create that. Create table products, product ID, product ID should be int, and primary key, and the second is quantity, and quantity should be integer, and it should check for a condition. Quantity should be greater than or equal to 0. Like this we want to give a check, and we want to give a condition is the quantity is greater than or equal to 0. Like this we want to use a check constraint. Next we are going to see about foreign key constraint. The foreign key constraint establishes a relationship between two tables. It ensures referential integrity by enforcing a link between the values in two columns, typically the primary key in one table and the foreign key in another table. Now I will show you how to create. To create table orders. Here I want to give an order ID, and it should be an integer, and primary key, and the second is product id product id, and it should be integer. Next is quantity, it should be integer, and I want to give a foreign. I have to give a foreign key to product id, and I want to give a reference to products and product id. Like this, we want to use a foreign key. This constraint helps maintain data consistency, integrity, and reliability in MySQL database. By enforcing rules and relationship between tables and their caller, by applying appropriate constraint, you can ensure that your database maintains accurate, meaningful data throughout its life cycle. Thank you. With this, I am ending my video.